Thanks to
Redfish.
Redfish for
Appreciate
this
it.
$1.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Says, what else could CJ Brewer have done to make the team?
I like CJ. I thought he did a really good job. The reason why this team is going with Ernest Brown rather than CJ Brewer is because Brown can do a little bit more things from a pass rush standpoint. He's stout against the run, but he can affect the quarterback a little bit more. As you see on this play here, this was a fourth down. It looked like it was going to be a scoop and score by Antonio Greer and a sack fumble for Ernest Brown in that preseason finale against the Dolphins. That was not the case, but it still counted. It was an incompletion on fourth down. So Ernest Brown, even though getting held here, obviously, this picture, did
Yeah.
his job and affected the play. And I think, too, he's just a little bit quicker and can work some of these stunt games better with the outside linebackers. And I will say this is one thing that, and I'm not really giving away any trade secrets here, so Todd Bowles is not going to be necessarily mad at me for saying this. But, Matt, you and I, we've seen these training camp practices. And, again, this is something that Todd Bowles has been known to do. I think it's going to be done with even more regularity this year. The stunts, those TE, which is tackle end, or ET, end tackle. And what that means is when you have those stunts, it's where you have a crosser and then a looper, right? And so if it's a TE stunt, that means someone like Vita Vea is going to go and essentially attack the tackle rather than the guard in front of him. And that guard, what you want is you want that guard to naturally follow Vita Vea and go, oh, no, wait a minute. Hold on, I got to block this guy. And then you have the end, Marquise Watts, Jose Ramirez, Chris Braswell, JTS, Yaya, you name them, loop around inside for a sack. And a guy like Marcus Watts, who's not the biggest guy in the world, but probably the fastest outside linebacker, is very good at doing that. He's got a lot of sacks in training camp up the middle on some of those looping plays. And if it's an ET stunt, it's the same thing. And you've seen Vita Vea come from the outside. Or Kalijah Cansey is going to make a killing on this as well, where you have the end crash down at the guard, kind of draws that tackle, draws his gaze that way, and then the defensive end loops around and comes free around the tackle to hopefully get a sack. So that's an area where Ernest Brown probably a little bit better, a little bit quicker than CJ Brewer. And I think that kind of goes into the equation too, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, and we heard John Spytek say it, and he was talking more about edge rushers, but, you're always looking, you're not going to let pass rushers leave the building. And obviously, Ernest Brown, we're not saying is the next Aaron Donald by any means, but if you could just do a little bit more, that'll help your case. And honestly, for CJ Brewer, he'll probably get called up for, a couple games, or if there's another injury, he'll be signed to the active roster.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you want to make the first cut out of training camp, but Brewer, I think we're going to see on game days a fair amount this season.